Here we go. UFC 296. Ceremonial weigh-ins just ended. It's been a crazy bit of a fight week. Starting with the press conference, of course, yesterday. It got a little heated between a couple of fights, especially, it's a Colby Covington press conference. What do you expect? Um, but yeah, I'm going to just give my quick predictions and picks. I'm going to start here at you know what? I'll do the full main event. I'll start at Bryce Mitchell versus Josh Emmett. This is not one that I really planned on giving a real breakdown to. Um, I think Bryce Mitchell should probably be the favorite, but the fact that it's last minute makes me, kind of lean a little bit towards Josh Emmett. This is a huge fight for him. This is really his last chance at, making a push towards the title or even being at the top of that division at his age. And this is pretty much his last push. I think he's going to fight as hard as he can, and he actually had a full camp. So this would be one that I look at as a very heavy potential for knockout or for an upset. I mean, Josh Emmett is a huge knockout threat. He has, you know, very good wrestling. So I don't know if Bryce Mitchell will be able to manhandle him. Actually, if you watch the Ilya Taporia fight with Josh Emmett was more competitive than Bryce Mitchell was. So to be a minus 238 favorite coming in short notice is a little bit crazy to me, man. I might take the shot with Josh Emmett as an underdog. I'm going to go Josh Emmett there. Next fight, moving on, Paddy Pimblett versus Tony Ferguson. This is one of the most, you know, heavily watched and anticipated fights on this card. Originally, I was coming in and saying, when it first got announced, I'll go, oh, Paddy, his last fight, he's trash. He's not top 15 material. But the more you think about it, and the more I look into, the aura, the overall aura of Tony, it was oh, he can't be knocked out. He's so tough. Chandler knocked him out. Gaethje pretty much beat him to a pulp and TKO'd him. So we've seen that that's not true. And then it was, oh, the Oliveira fight. He lost, but you see how tough he was? And then the Dariush fight, you see he had him in a heel hook. You see Oliveira had him in a fully extended armbar. He would never tap. And then Nate Diaz taps him. So all of the invincibility, all of the aura, all of the folklore about Tony is gone. Paddy Pimblett seems a little bit more I mean, they both do seem locked in. I will say that, but Tony has never not been locked in, even in all his losses. Paddy seems more locked in than usual. We usually in the lead up to all his fights, all we're seeing on social media is, look how fat I was a month ago, and then look at the weight cut, and look at all types of extracurricular damn, I can't talk, extracurricular things on social media. Molly McCann hanging all over him, Dave Portnoy all over him. You haven't seen any of that. It's just been Paddy on his own, locked in, ready to fight, in shape. He actually talked some good shit in the press conference. He hit Tony with a couple good lines. Definitely got Tony a little heated up. Maybe even won the exchanges in the press conference. So I think Paddy looks dialed in, and I'm gonna say I'm probably gonna lean towards Paddy, man. Sadly, I'd love to see Tony win, but the fight week, the lead up has kind of shifted me the other direction and saying that it's Paddy's time. Not that he's gonna be some great fighter or something, but this fight he should win this fight. And it's crazy to me that Tony. Remember, guys, Tony's last win was Donald Cerrone. Both of those dudes were like fan favorites and always had exciting fights. Tony Ferguson, Cowboy, fan favorites. They finally fight each other. Since that fight, neither one of them have won. Cowboy loses out, retires. Tony lost, just loses. Since that night, neither ever won. Crazy. how, in the moment it's just a big fight everybody's so excited about, and you don't think about that this could be the last piece of greatness we see from both of them. So yeah, just something to think about. I'm going Patty there. And then the next fight, man, this is stacked. We still got three more. Um, Wonder Boy versus Shavkat. You know, the last fight, Shavkat versus Jeff Neal. When I originally saw it, Shavkat has been so dominant. When I watched it live, I was like, "Oh my god, why isn't he grappling?" Jeff Neal's piecing him up. He hurt him bad. This dude's not even invincible like I thought he was. He ain't as good as I thought he was. He doesn't even fight smart. That was my original thought. Then I revisited the fight this week, and Shavkat beat the shit out of him on the feet for a majority of that fight. Yes, Jeff Neal had a moment where he hurt him, but Shavkat was piecing him up on the feet with no real threats of grappling, wasn't even trying to grapple, just straight up piecing him up on the feet. His defense is pretty good, not great. He does get a little reckless and, throw some punches that leave him out of position, which is what led to him getting kind of rocked by Jeff Neal. But, Wonder Boy is a great striker, but Wonder Boy is not a one-punch knockout threat as much as Jeff Neal is. And if Wonder Boy was, I'd probably start to lean towards Wonder Boy. But even if Shavkat, gets caught out of position, throws a wild punch and, Wonder Boy has an opening for a counter, it's not like Wonder Boy is guaranteed, like, if he catches you, you're going to sleep. It's not that much of a one punch, one kick. Well, of course, he can, head kick you or something, but he's not that much of a one strike threat. And for that reason, I'm going to lean Shavkat just skill wise. If he adds in the grappling, then I think it's a pretty much done deal. But even in the striking, I think that even if they strike it out, Shavkat could do some damage. Because he's shown to have a really good chin. I don't think Wonder Boy will hurt him. And he's relentless, man. I'm going Shavkat there. Probably guy. I'm thinking submission. I think he might hurt Wonder Boy and then submit him. So moving on to the two title fights to close it out. We got Alexandre Pantoja. I think I said that good. And Brandon Royval. This is one that I kind of hurt. It kind of hurts me to pick it because Royval is my favorite flyweight right now. He gives me almost like a Diaz type of vibe, the way he fights, relentless. Of course, that's, that southpaw, the way he stands, his stance, his relentless style, his striking. He's a, blood and guts type of striker, but he also has that jiu-jitsu in his back pocket, much like the Diaz brothers, especially Nate. So it hurts me to say, but I'm just going to lean towards Pantoja, man. That, I picked him to beat Moreno, and he did in a very close fight. The only thing that would lean me towards Royval is if Pantoja was seriously affected by going to war with Moreno. You never know how a war is going to affect you. Remember, Dan Hooker was at the top of the lightweight division. He had an absolute war with Felder, an absolute war with Poirier, and then for years he just couldn't get right. Of course, he still has his skill. Now he made his comeback and he's good. But after an absolute war, sometimes you just can't get right for a little while. It takes you a little bit of time off to get right. So for that reason, I do hope Royval wins, but I'm probably going to still stick with Pantoja. I think probably by decision this time. Probably decision. Then the main event, Leon Edwards, Colby Covington. The big one everyone wants to see. Um, minus 162 odds, plus 136 for Colby. Colby's been out for quite a while, but still very close odds, which, you know, of course shows the respect that everybody has for Colby's skills. But even at his age and even at the amount of inactivity that he's had, Colby's still very tough. And I think it's actually smart, even though everybody's up in arms about it, including me. I didn't really like it, and the reason the comments that he had about Leon's dad, and I really, you know, as far as being offensive, I don't really get offended by nothing. Like Conor McGregor talking about, you know, Khabib's family and shit and religion, all is fair in love and war, and the reason why is because if you ask Conor, or if you ask Chael Sonnen, or if you ask any trash talker in history about somebody that they shit on, they would shit on them and keep that same energy when you ask them. But the only thing about Colby is that he doesn't do that. You can't be the biggest shit talker, threaten people, say that you know it's on site, anywhere, anytime, and then call the cops. Werdum, Masvidal, even the altercation at I think it was a casino with Usman. He doesn't keep the same. He just doesn't keep the same energy, and he kind of hides behind the fact that it's a character, but he's really a nice guy. I think that's actually more corny than like just being. If you're just like an offensive, if you just don't give a fuck and you just say offensive shit, that's cool. But if you say offensive shit, but then you hide behind a character and then you're like, no, I didn't really mean it. I was just trying to sell it. That's even worse to me, to be honest. Cause like at least stand on your words, right? But I do, besides all that, I do think it's smarter what Colby did. Because everyone knows, Colby knows, he's not a knockout threat. He's not really, you know, it would be a miracle if he finishes Leon. He's not really a finisher in any way. He's not a finisher on the feet. And yes, he's a mainly grappler. He's a hell of a grappler, but he don't finish people on the ground really either. Almost no submission threat. I don't think he's ever submitted anybody, at least in the UFC. I don't think. I might be wrong on that, but he's not a big submission threat, especially at the championship level. Same with Usman. They both are, you know, great wrestlers, but they're not a submission threat on the ground. Usman eventually developed KO power, but Colby's never done that. So the fact that he's trying to, you know, get into Leon's head, get him emotional, get Leon to possibly come out too aggressive early, trying to avenge his dad or trying to, you know, get back for the words that Colby has said, and then possibly gas out late, is what Colby is banking on. That's essentially what Colby is banking on. Get him mad, get him to be more aggressive than usual, get him to be tense, get him to be pissed off, and fighting with too much aggression or fighting angry gashes you out quicker than anything. So that's really what Colby is banking on, in my opinion. And that is a very realistic thing, because even at a day later at the ceremonial weigh-ins, Leon still brought it up. What he said about my dad, he looked very, very angry, very emotional, and it's very possible Colby got in his head and it worked. And it's possible Colby will just come out there the first couple rounds, talk shit, maybe laugh at him, stick his tongue out, you know, make Leon fight angry, and then in the third, fourth, and fifth round, just pour it on when he's gassed. But in my personal opinion, I don't think Leon's that type. Leon's like all this time, Leon was on that long win streak. He never resorted to try to, you know, play a character like Colby. He never resorted to try to make himself into like a shit talker or a character. He's a stoic dude. He's a chill dude. He doesn't really waver from what he is. He seems like he's right here. As far as his mindset, it seems like he's right here. Even kill. Doesn't get too high, doesn't get too low. He just stays even keel. And I think that'll really pay off in this fight if he's able to, maintain that mindset of a, composed fighter. I think that skill wise, he should be able to do pretty much what he did to Usman in that third fight, even though Colby is a more better wrestler, maybe more relentless for sure. More relentless for sure. Colby's similar to like Khabib. If he shoots 2 takedowns, he'll shoot a third one. If he don't get the third one, he'll shoot a fourth one. He'll shoot a fifth one. He'll shoot a sixth one. Usman, he'll shoot 1, 2. If it doesn't work, then okay, let's strike. Colby's not going to do that. Colby's going to keep shooting that takedown no matter what. But I think Leon's going to be able to fend him off. And you know what? This is very unlikely, but I'm going to go Leon by stoppage. Leon by stoppage. Let me try to make a real out there, like spot on prediction so I can look like a genius if it happens. I'm gonna say Leon. I'm gonna say Colby engages, trying to start a grappling exchange. In the clinch, Leon hurts him with an elbow, and then he finishes him with ground and pound. That's my 1 in a million prediction. Leon winning is not 1 in a million, but that exact scenario happening would be 1 in a million. So yeah, I'm gonna go Colby. No, fuck, Jesus. I'm gonna go Leon by stoppage, Pantoja by decision, Shavkat by stoppage, Paddy by probably stoppage, and then Josh Emmett by stoppage is going to be my picks. Also, guys, if you're new to my channel, if you've never seen me go live on fight day, just want you to know, if you need a way to watch the fights, I got you every single time. I will be live here on YouTube. I'll be live on Twitch. I'll be live on Kick, providing this type of view, showing my face with a reaction with my little reflective glasses so you can see the screen a little bit. But if you want to watch the fights undistracted, you don't have to see my goofy face, you can come on Instagram. My Instagram is OGICEY. I'll put it in the description. OGICEY, same as my YouTube, and I'll get the fights for you. Send me a message on Instagram, or just pull up to my Instagram on the fight day, and we'll get you the fights. It's not a private account. It's a public account. So it's not like I'm trying to, goat you into following me just to get a follow. You don't even have to follow me. Even if you don't follow me, you can click into my account. Yes, tomorrow during the fights, I'll probably start the stream around the Tony and Paddy fight. And yeah, we look forward to watching, and we look forward to having all my predictions be right, except for hopefully my Tony predictions wrong. But besides that, we ready. We ready. Headshot with an elbow this time. Headshot dead via elbow. Let's go.